Good evening, and welcome to the Baroness Midnight Horror Review. Tonight, I will be sharing my thoughts on the best horror movie sequel, and it goes to CandyMan 2021, directed by Nia Costa and written by Jordan Peele and Wynn Rosenfeld. Starring Abdul-Mateen II and Tiona Parnes. I think many would agree that the original Candyman holds a lot of value and nostalgia. I think a lot of the reason is because Tony Todd is so awesome, who's the original Candyman, and shows up in the new one as well. But the original was written and directed by white people, and this story is a Black story. And I think that Jordan Peele really shares that and emphasizes that in a really effective and amazing way. This sequel is about a Black artist who is doing an installation in his community, which is in Philadelphia, and basically he's looking into the history of where he lives and his community, which was once the Philadelphia Projects. And the history that he unleashes is devastating. There's a lot of racial violence and systematic oppression throughout the movie. That's really the theme of the movie. And this artist is really diving into the history of all of this and bringing it to light through his art. Not to mention this myth around the Candyman, whose story we really get to go deep into, and it's really amazing. There's nothing I love more than misunderstood monster movies. I think many of us horror lovers can relate on different levels. But in this movie, the Candyman is really looked at, and it's really sad, a lot of this movie. It's really real and true. I really think that this is the direction of horror and where I want to see horror going. I think that Jordan Peele's got it. If you've seen Get Out or any of his movies, they're tremendous and they are changing the way that horror is being made. I actually saw Jordan Peele interviewed on a horror show that I really enjoy, and he talks about a variety of horror movies on this show, and I really resonated with what he had to say, and I related deeply as to why I love the same kind of horror movies, but also why I love horror. He really talked deeply about the relationship between horror and real life, and that horror can be a tremendous lens to reflect about real life. And it's just so easy when there's so much horrors around us. And sometimes bringing something already horrific in real life into a horror lens can be really a terrifying experience, but a very impactful and important experience. The acting in this movie is so incredible. The story is amazing. It's so captivating. The story of this artist just losing himself so fully in his work and it affecting everything around him is relatable on a lot of levels, and it's really incredible journey to be on as a viewer. Not to mention, this movie has all kinds of horror, even though to me it has more of a lens of a real life horror. So I was crying a lot of the movie, to be honest. I was really moved by a lot. It's really sad, like I said. If this kind of systematic violence and racial oppression is a part of your lived experience, this might be a really triggering and difficult movie for you to watch, and maybe one that you don't want to. But I think, especially in sequel or in response to the first Candyman, this follow up is so incredibly powerful, like I said, and very important to watch. Jordan Peele definitely knew what he was doing with this one. It really couldn't have been done in a better or more imaginative way. It has all the great elements of a horror movie. It's so scary in so many ways, but to me, real life horror is what truly scares me. So to bring that in to this superstitious kind of story is one remarkable and unique experience. And if you haven't seen the new Candyman, the sequel, I highly recommend that you do.